Welcome to Games Lounge. I'm Sean Paul Johnston.
And I'm Gemma Park. On this series we'll be covering the latest games and consoles to hit the market, as well as looking into the history of gaming.
We'll also be donning our rose-tinted glasses and playing our favourite retro titles, and we'll be taking a look at new technology that's changing gaming as we know it.
We are your one-stop shop for everything gaming.
Coming up in this episode of Games Lounge, we feast our eyeballs and probably drool a little as we check out the gorgeous Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo Wii U. We catch up with the latest gaming news and gossip from around the world, and we check out some of our favourite fan films from around the web.
Games Lounge.
Now, I think it's fair to say that at some point in their lives, pretty much everyone alive on this planet has played Mario Kart before. And now it is time for another game. Nintendo will be releasing Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, and Tom over here has been playing the game for a little while for us. So, hello Tom.
Hi Finn.
How are you enjoying the game?
I'm enjoying it a lot actually. It's been a while since I last played Mario Kart. I think for me it would have been on the Nintendo DS.
Oh, okay.
It was the last version I played.
So I think it's fair to say that there are some subtle changes that have been made since the Nintendo DS version.
Yeah, I think the way I'd put it, there's been a lot of significant changes, really. Certainly at least from when I played it.
Now, I don't know if you know this fact, but Mario Kart 8 is actually the first time that Nintendo is introducing HD graphics on a Mario Kart game. Is that noticeable?
Yes, it is, very noticeable. Just down to there's loads of little details I've been noticing while I've been playing the game, such as I was on one of the desert racing tracks before, and just when the carts are going along the sand, each seem to leave their own unique sets of tyre tracks, which I thought was a really nice touch.
That's cool, and I noticed some lens flares are in there as well.
Yes, it's a very pretty game.
Absolutely. Now, I know that there are a couple of new features that have been introduced. I think they introduced 2 new characters, I think 3 new items to use, but apparently the biggest change is something that is called anti-gravity mode or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I've come across it in a few of the races that I've been doing recently. What seems to happen is it's generally when you drive over a blue strip with white arrows, and what happens to your kart is the wheels become horizontal and you're essentially floating above the track, but it allows the track to go at some crazy angles, and you can be flying either on the sides of the screen or just going upside down completely.
Now, what about the controls? Is it a game that's fairly easy to get used to?
Yes, I think so. The only difficulty I had when I first picked it up was I found it a little hard to be able to use the brake button, but that could just be due to the way they've set it out on the controller. I'm sure with custom controls, if you have any difficulty with that, you can solve the problem.
Do you think it has been well transferred onto the Wii U as a console?
Yeah, I do. They don't use the secondary screen too much. It's more a useful addition if you want it. You've got the positions of every character, so if you're not first, you'll be able to see exactly who's in front of you. And then there's things like the mini-map as well, and the option to use the tilt controls.
Well, thank you very much for that. That's it from me and Tom. That was Mario Kart 8. It's out for the Wii U on May the 30th, and it's £39.
We start with some exciting news on the upcoming game Watch Dogs. Communications specialist for Ubisoft Anne Lewis has updated the Ubi blog detailing the various factions that the game character Aiden Pierce will encounter throughout the game. I should add that the information was taken directly from the game's writer Kevin Short. Now, each of these factions, including the hacker collective DedSec, the violent yet highly organised Black Viceroys, and the mysterious Bloom Corporation, interact with and affect Aiden's story, as well as the citizens of Chicago in which the game is based. So if you simply can't wait until the game is released on May 27th, head over to the Ubi blog to check out the full details, and then don't forget to tweet us at SmallFryUnify to give us your thoughts. Microsoft has now confirmed that there will be a big Xbox One update this coming June. The update will see the arrival of a number of useful new features. Most notably for many, there will be extra support available for external hard drives, meaning that after the update, players will be able to plug in up to 2 USB hard drives into their console in order to store even more games, save files and other media for use on the main console. Gamers will even be able to unplug their external hard drive and use it to access their content on other consoles, provided they sign into their own Xbox Live account and have the related game discs to hand. So, great news for anyone whose internal drive is already reaching maximum capacity. Another new feature will be the ability to search for people on Xbox Live using their real name. Real name info, however, won't show up in games, and users will be able to limit how much or how little is shared online. So these are just a couple of the new features that will become available, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that little update available message next month. Next up, exciting news for fans of Batman Arkham series. The latest trailer to be released for the upcoming Batman Arkham Knight has given a glimpse of some actual next-gen gameplay, as well as a peek at new villain Arkham Knight. The video, entitled Evening the Odds, can be viewed now on YouTube. It is similar to what was revealed a few months ago at the game's press unveiling. Whilst much of the trailer is still pre-rendered CGI, there is some real gameplay footage towards the end, including a shot of the new supervillain, Arkham Knight, getting the upper hand on Batman. Additional to the next-gen visuals, the main new feature of Arkham Knight is a drivable Batmobile, which is shown in the trailer performing one of Riddler's in-game driving challenges. Arkham Knight is one of a few games this year that is next-gen only, with no Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 versions planned. It's scheduled for release on October 14th this year, so check that out. YouTube is reportedly in talks to buy out popular live streaming site Twitch. Reports suggest that the online video giant is close to announcing a $1 billion deal to acquire the online gaming streaming service. And with YouTube already being a subsidiary of Google, this potential deal with Twitch would further the company's hold over the world of online video. Twitch, which was founded in 2011, allows players to broadcast live footage of their gaming sessions and has become a hub for Let's Plays, as well as gaming marathons and the now infamous Twitch Plays Pokemon, wherein thousands of online players try to synchronise a playthrough of the game with often hilarious results. The reported asking price of Twitch, which is utilised solely for gaming purposes, is only 39% less than the price which Google paid for their takeover of YouTube, which alludes to the success of the site, and it currently claims up to 1.8% of total US internet traffic. It has been suggested that YouTube could offer valuable support to improve Twitch's performance after it suffered due to the increased demand placed on its servers as its popularity has grown. This would surely be a good thing for fans of the site. However, nothing has yet been confirmed, so stay tuned for any updates and we'll bring them to you. Finally, Rockstar has announced that its developers are working on a Grand Theft Auto 5 version for new generation consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, which will be ready for release before March 2015. After initial release of the game last autumn, the company saw over $2 billion in revenue generated, smashing sales records. By re-releasing the game on next gen, Rockstar will surely be looking at another huge profit surge. During an earnings call with its main investors, Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two Interactive CEO, has confirmed that Rockstar is working on the game for Xbox One and PS4, and he affirmed that they are excited about what they have in store for the new generation of systems this fiscal year. This has been Gemma Park with your latest gaming news updates. Don't forget to tune in next time to Games Lounge for more.
Hello, my name is Philip.
And my name is Fausta.
And this is the part of the show where we talk about YouTube content about gaming. And this, our first week, we're going to be talking about
My Life as a Video Game. It's an awesome web series that I've been binging off for absolutely ages.
It's fantastic.
I keep rewatching the same episodes, trying to find those little Easter eggs to satisfy my inner geek. It's written by Petro Ciano and directed by Brian Dixon. It revolves around the main character named Don Witt, who gets sucked into the video game world, and he has to use his survival skills and his knowledge to get out back into the real world.
Yeah. Worth mentioning, he's also played by the writer. It's fantastic. He makes a real good protagonist.
Yeah, he knows the character the best. There are several main characters, obviously Don Witt, Menu, and Ker Althorn.
Definitely, yeah. And I think personally, Menu is my favourite character. He's pretty much this, like Rist, he's like this omnipresent, always there kind of menu helping system. He's kind of like, I don't know, Zorgon from Power Rangers, or Al from Quantum Leap. He's really good, and he has these like comic relief moments as well, which is just fantastic, and I think really makes the episodes.
It's your favourite?
Oh yes, definitely.
Really?
Like, who would you say is yours?
Well, me personally,
Go ahead.
of course, it's Ker Althorn.
Oh, the princess, yeah.
Yeah, the princess. She's not like Princess Peach. She doesn't need saving. She uses her own skills, brains, and blood to actually get out of any situation. And
Yeah.
she saves Don Witt more times than the Menu.
I think I disagree there. Well, anyway, it's on its 7th episode right now, and the next one's going to be in outer space, which I cannot wait for. I've seen a tweet, and it's of him in the spaceship, I think, and it's not revealing too much, but it's enough to get me really excited.
I think anybody who's following the web series is really pumped up for it. And if you're not, just go check it out. It's so awesome. You won't stop watching it. So that's it for this bit, and now we're moving on to the bit that Phil prepared.
Oh yes, we're going to be talking about Street Fighter. You've played the game, haven't you?
Oh, of course.
Street Fighter. Well, if you search it now on YouTube, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, you will see this amazing web series. It's on Machinima, and it's directed by Joey Anser. He was actually on Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays a bad guy in this actually.
Oh, that would be an interesting twist.
And it follows Ken and Ryu, and it's on its 11th episode right now. And honestly, if you've not checked this out, go ahead, find it. It's only a couple clicks away, and you can just sit and watch them all.
It's very beautiful. The stunts are amazing. It's unbelievable. Go check it out. And this is all we have for this week. If you have any suggestions of what you want us to review, just tweet us on SmallFryUnify, and we'll definitely look into that. So stay tuned and stay super.
Peace.
Well, that's it for part 1, and just in case that you wondered what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like, make sure to check back after the break. Well, BAM! There it is.
Coming up, we catch up with Lindsay as she lives out her digital life in Animal Crossing New Leaf. We discuss her hopes and expectations for this year's E3 and Rever Engines in the Games Lounge Challenge. So right now we're here with Lindsay Marie Silver, and she's playing Animal Crossing on the 3DS. Now Lindsay got the game, it was about a year ago now, and she's been putting it through her paces for a while now and trying to get her, is it La La Land? The village?
Oh yes.
Oh yes, it's La La Land. And she's been putting it through its paces, and we're going to see what she's getting up to just now. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening in the game.
Well, I haven't played it for a little while, so I had lots of weeding to do.
So you've been weeding the garden, yes? And
Yeah, I've been doing that, and watering all the plants and all that, making it nice and pretty. Getting some of the fruit, selling it in the shop.
So some people,
fossils.
some people who've never played the game or who know about it, they might sound a little bit mundane. So what sets this like apart from the fact that it's just normal life tasks like weeding the garden and selling fruit? Is it the animals?
Well, it's mostly everything. It's the colours.
It's sparkling.
It's the animals as well. All your neighbours who like really pester you and give you a row if you haven't been there for a while and stuff. But like one of the guys there in my town is called Coach, and I've actually just set up a personal training session with him this afternoon.
And like coming up just now, it's we're coming into E3 in about 2 weeks' time. Is there anything in the game? I know there's event things at Christmas and July the 4th in America. They have things set up where you'll get special limited edition costumes or events that are set up. Is there something that's coming up just now, or you've done?
Not just yet that I know of, but who knows? It's one of those games that kind of tends to surprise you with something each time that you go on it.
Yeah. And have you paid off your mortgage to Nuke yet?
Well, I have paid off my first one, and then a couple after that, so you can extend your house and all the rest, and get little add-ons and change the colour of the roof and stuff like this. So I've done things like that, but you know, at the same time, you've got more money to pay back then.
One of the things we did also notice was when Lindsay went into the shops, is it Nuke Mart, or what's it called?
Whoa.
Nuke Mart, anyway. The shop, Nuke was there, and he was a bit like strange. He was chasing her in the shop, and he didn't leave her alone. So have you fixed that problem?
Yeah, he's a little less sort of full on, but yeah, he was totally chasing me about.
Yeah. And is it his nieces or nephews?
It's his
or something?
little nephews that work there.
Are they chasing you about as well?
Yeah, they're like pretty small, needy.
Well, they're only
kids.
human, so. Graphically, the game, is it something like you're drawn to, or is it?
Yes, I mean, look at the colours.
Yeah, it's colourful. It is colourful. And yeah, you recently got your. Is it the cinema thing? No, what was it called? The club.
Club 101.
And you've been dancing in there, haven't you?
Oh, honestly, I was just telling the guys there. It made my whole week when I got this.
Alright, so that's excellent. That's a little quick sort of look at Animal Crossing on the 3DS. Each week we're going to be taking a look at this with Lindsay, and we'll see how far she's getting on. Cheers. Hi, I'm your host Sean Paul Johnston, and welcome to the first ever episode of Games Lounge Huddle. On this episode we've got our special guests Kirk and Elias, and we're going to be covering E3. That's about 2 weeks away, so we'll be going over our predictions for the show. So to start us off, we'll start with Microsoft. What do we think Microsoft's going to do this E3?
Well, I think they're going to focus probably... One of the things I think they're going to focus on is their new initiative, like their TV initiative. They've got like a team is working on a new Halo.
The Halo project, yeah.
So they'll probably focus on stuff like that. They said they're going to have a really strong focus on games. So I assume they're going to actually probably put quite a lot of games out there. Probably more so than other years, and maybe get away from all the sort of cheesy presentations with pop stars and stuff like that.
Get rid of the pop stars, yeah.
The problem thing with Microsoft is currently, in the eyes of the consumers, they're in a bit of trouble because they've been saying things like, this is our code, this is our policy, this is how we're going to go forward, and then be taking it back afterwards when they see that's a backlash from the eyes of the consumers. A bit like a lack
of trust there now.
So there's a lack of trust there, so they have to really pull off something good to gain the trust of the public back. Because currently they're taking back the Kinect, and many people feel betrayed that they bought the first Xbox with the Kinect. Now everything's cheaper and better. But on the other hand, they still have good IPs. They have a new Gears of War. Now it's Microsoft only, the new Gears of War coming out, and there's a Halo game as well. And they will still bounce back, but they still have to give it a good effort to get there. Yeah.
So is it about games for Microsoft? Is that what it's about? Building the trust up again and
pretty
getting
much.
games.
It's about policies. It's about doing policies and sticking with them so that the consumers can see in the long run, this is a company I can invest my money in and feel safe.
Well, that's what's held me back, is putting money into a console and thinking, well, they're going to take this back, they'll take this back. It's like, I'm kind of reluctant right now, and I want to wait until more games come out, so that's what's holding me back right now. But yeah.
And the thing is with Microsoft, for example, before they released Xbox One, when they said you can't share games on this console, and then they took it back, for example, everybody didn't go, oh yes, I'm happy they take it back. They went, they thought of that policy once. If they can do it, they'll do so again.
Exactly, yeah.
I think with those policies though, it affects like the core gamers like us. We probably get a bit annoyed at stuff like that changing, but I think for the general consumer, that's not going to be such a big problem. So they don't even know that these things are changing.
They're not aware of it, yeah.
But I think it's the core gamer that makes a market, and then everybody else centers around them.
Probably at this early stage, that's probably important.
Yeah, to build up the core, yeah. So moving on, Sony, obviously they've been doing incredibly well. They've announced that they've sold over 7 million consoles now. I don't know what it's at now, but they seem to be storming ahead. there's turbulence there though with the company itself, excluding its gaming division. Can you stay afloat? Can E3, is there going to be enough momentum carrying them forward to keep them going and get enough sales to keep the game division afloat without them going under?
Well, currently Sony's the golden boy.
Yeah.
They've done no mistakes since the release of PS4. The consumers love them. They do everything as they should. They get on top of the technological bandwagon with virtual reality.
Yeah.
They have great IPs coming out. They have a new Uncharted game. They have a new Drive Club game. They do everything correct. Whether they can do that financially, that's a matter within their own company. But in a sense, it's their own. It's their own race to screw up. At this point, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, and I think for us as consumers, once again, watching E3, I don't think we need to worry about whether they can change around the company behind the scenes. I think as long as they have a good presentation for the E3, which I see they're going to have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have the Project Morpheus shown in much more detail now, I assume, and a few good announcements. So
do you think Sony is more about more of the same? To carry on what it's
pretty
doing?
much, yeah.
Keep it going, sort of kind of thing.
Pretty much, yes. They have the consumers behind them, and that's the first thing you need. As long as they can sort out their finances, they're gonna be fine. But you have to realize the consoles have just been out. It's gonna be bleeding money, the company, for a few years after the console's coming out. Basically, after the first 3 years, we can talking about starting raking in the cash, and afterwards it's gonna be okay. I think what needs to happen is that they need to buckle up and kind of survive the next couple of months / years, and then it's gonna be smooth sailing from now on.
What worries me about Sony is they're at the top, and as my dad used to say, when you're at the top, it's tough at the top because you can only go one way. Are they going to collapse? Are they going to let it all slip away and then Microsoft comes back up like a dark horse, or Nintendo even, you know?
Well, I think they keep making the moves that suggest they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the PlayStation Now platform coming out soon, and so when you think about what they're offering to the consumer, certainly once again in their game division, it seems like they're doing all the right stuff. They're going to keep the consumer happy, keep people buying the platform, supporting it with sort of services that we want. So
I am no Sony fanboy, but I will say this: they're not just a tiny bit ahead of the competition in a sense. They're miles ahead. They need to do several consecutive screw-ups to fall from that position, because in the end of the day, Microsoft is making it easy for them.
All right, so moving on, that's Sony and Microsoft. The final guy, Nintendo, the old guy in the room here. What's the predictions for Nintendo? Is Nintendo going to pull it through? Or?
It seems like 2 years after Wii U has been released, finally they decided.
A year
after Wii U has been released, finally they're starting to do proper moves, like releasing Smash Brothers, releasing the Mario Kart. There's talk about an HD Zelda and a new Metroid, and these are things that in my head should have been done in the first half year when the Wii U came out, along with the console. It would have gotten a much larger following. So I'm kind of really wondering, these are conscious decisions on the part of Nintendo. What are they thinking?
I've got something, I'll come back to that in a second. Kirk, what do you think about Nintendo?
Well, regarding their E3 show, I think like the last few E3 shows, it's going to be strong. They're going to show off the big names that sort of fans want to see: the next Mario game, the next Zelda, Mario Kart game, the next Zelda, and so on.
Do you think they're moving to the competitive gaming thing, where they're going to have that in their show, where they've got the room booked out and they've invited, the Smash Brothers Comic Con, and they've got 3,000 players coming in to play it, and they've got like champions and stuff? Is that a good move?
Yeah, it's a good move, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't think it's going to have any impact in terms of sales or popularity or anything like that, but it's just a nice thing to have.
Any changes with the console, like a revamped version?
No.
I think there was something talk about making it a bit cheaper. But the thing is, you have to understand with Nintendo what's happening right now, and I read this recently on forums. As long as you buy the Wii U and you buy Mario Kart and you have those controllers and you just leave it gathering dust in a sense in the corner, you've bought your money's worth. I mean, it's a console where you need to have those 3-4 games,
it's a great game,
and leave it there.
Yeah.
It's a secondary console, but it's slightly starting to get there.
But I think that's the problem with why it's not selling though, because I think that's the consumer that have bought the first 6 million. There's consumers that say, well, I buy it just for the core Nintendo games, and then after that, I don't really care. I'm happy. But I think the problem is trying to get it to sell to a bigger market and go past, say, the 20 million sales of the GameCube. Yeah. That's going to be probably impossible if that's the focus. They need to start producing stuff that will attract core gamers and
so do you think
entertainment consumers.
Things like brain training?
Well, I think maybe Nintendo will maybe release. There's talk of a new game getting announced for 3DS.
The quality of life? Oh no.
Well, there's a special meeting to discuss this new 3DS game.
Oh, the 3DS game, yeah.
So I suspect that might be something along the lines of a new Nintendo's brain training, or maybe it might be something like the next Majora's Mask remake or something.
But the thing is with Nintendo,
if you ask any fan on the planet, they'll tell you exactly what they need to do. They need to do Metroid, they need to do Zelda, they need to do
Yeah, they
Mario.
always say
as long as they keep doing that, they'll make money. So go ahead and do that.
So to wrap things up, E3, obviously we've got our what we think's happening with the companies. Who do you think is going to win, Kirk? Or is it a case of winning, or is it just they're all going to do quite well?
There's always, like, I think everyone involved in the industry, when you're watching E3, wants to sort of have a winner at the end of it. Like, it's just fun to sort of back one or whatever. And I think probably this E3 it'll probably be Sony. I think it's the obvious choice.
Sony as well for yourself?
The thing is, the point is that Xbox has been fumbling all along.
Yeah.
Sony, in my mind at least, hasn't made a single mistake yet. I'm not saying that puts them as the victors, but if everybody else is going behind and they keep going forward.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with Sony and Microsoft. I think even if Microsoft has a really good showing, I think they're at a point where the fans are so sort of like against them because of all the changes that might not even be reflected. They'll automatically say Sony's was better. So,
well, me personally, I like rooting for the small guy and the underdog, and obviously we've got a Wii U here, and I love the game and the consoles and Mario Kart and stuff like that. Now I'm hoping that they can turn this around like they did with the 3DS. Yeah, it's a different scenario, but I'm hoping with the games they bring out, Smash Brothers, Zelda, Hyrule Warriors, X, all these kind of games, they can get it right and finally start at least even competing in some level where it might be a nice secondary console, but it's not just going to be a failure. It's like after 2 years and it's been a great console. So anyway, that's our predictions for E3 this year. Obviously E3's on the 9th of June to the 12th of June, I think it is. We'll know pretty much shortly after this. When you watch this video, you'll know how close we were to getting it right, if we were miles off or not. So send us a tweet to info@smallfryunify.com and tell us how wrong we were or how right we were, and ask us something for the next episode. So in this section, this is the Games Lounge Challenge. Each episode we're going to have a little competition between one of our favourite games. This is Mario Kart 8, which we've got in the studio this week. What we'll do is we'll have a race of 3 laps. It's 3 players, 1 person will take a lap each, and we'll do a quick switch. So there'll be no pause in the game between each lap, and whoever is the loser will have to do something. If someone wants to send us in some sort of challenge or something, we'll see what we can do. But we'll have a weekly thing where we put up on the board, and at the end of the season or something, we'll see who's at the top, and maybe win a prize or something. So let's get this on, boys and girls. Let's do this, chums! Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god.
We're ready to rock and roll. Come on, Tom, you can do it.
Don't put pressure on me now.
Just do your business.
Yeah. What the hell? What's with those bits at the front
Which bits?
of our car?
It's going to eat someone. Oh, it's little horses.
Yeah, it's a good start.
What?
Oh, come
Come on,
on.
Tom. Bash up the side.
Yes.
Oh.
The red shells are good because they aim directly for people.
Who's a bird?
Ah!
Whoa, that's a straight bit of road. Shoot that red shell.
Yeah, shoot the red shell because it'll hit someone directly.
You can keep your shell behind you, Tom, if you hold your nice trigger thing as when you got it.
Oh, my heart's pounding. What's the buttons on the controller? Excellent.
Is it ready? I think we're going for the first boxes. Yeah, get ready, get ready. Get ready, James, get ready, switch. Get ready, go, switch.
What now?
Face the switch.
What?
Switch. No, really.
We're not over the switch.
Don't confuse that.
Don't do it.
Go on, Dan, go on.
What the hell?
Oh, that's Foxy.
Throw the shell at someone.
Oh, it's not easy, is it? It doesn't steer very well.
Go.
When you bang into it,
You can do this. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can see those ones when it's just interesting or something. This is the left trigger button and say, if you go like that,
What does that mushroom do today? Go, 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 go! Switch! Oh my god, here. Yeah. Oh, just swore. Come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, you're good. Oh my god, you got to do it. Do it, do it, go, 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 go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh! Come on, come on, you can do this, you can do this. Go, 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 go.
Flawless.
What?
It's been a good game. So that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed the competition. You're obviously the winners, Sean, Lindsay and Tom. Next episode we'll have another game. Maybe it'll be Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS or something. Who knows? Check it back next time, and that's it for the first ever episode of Games Lounge. Take care, bye! Bye! We'll also be donning our rose tinted glasses and taking a look at our favourite retro titles, and along the way we'll be oh, sorry. I was going to get it all up there though.
So stay tuned. What was that?
And that's it for this show, guys. Hopefully you can join us on the next episode, and we'll be covering more games and news in the industry. And Jen will be talking about more her than...